Now, we all would have heard people my age and older would remember Ronald Reagan, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall. Let's have a listen to one of the men that actually had 10 times more to do with that than the actor. Why has America's always got actors for presidents?
One of the greatest rock and rollers of all time, who in my opinion, most would probably agree that Pink Floyd is one of the truly great rock and roll bands ever. You know, Roger Waters proves that not all stereotypes are true. A Brit outflanks an Irishman, and that Irishman happens to be Bono, who is somebody that I think a lot of Irish today don't really claim anymore and probably haven't for a while. He sat down with Piers Morgan.
It's very unfortunate.
Yep.
Like, to me, how I think about Bono now. It's gross.
Bono, the biggest piece of crap alive. Now, if you've seen South Park, you'd understand.
People, your opinion is so disgusting and so degrading, sticking up for the Zionist entity.
Yes.
What he did a couple of weeks ago in the Sphere in Vegas, singing about the Stars of David, was one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you justify that?
I'm
All
not-
he was doing was paying a tribute to young music lovers at a music festival who happened to be Jewish. And the Star of David is the emblem of a Jewish person.
You're on your own.
I'm not on my own.
Yes, you are.
Why? I don't understand why you'd be so hateful to Bono.
Nice try, Piers.
What?
No, Roger Waters is not Jewish.
I'll tell you what Roger Waters is. He's somebody that I would very much like to get as a guest on this channel, and he happens to be very close with Butch Ware. And when I ran into Butch when I was in California, he said he would very much like to get back on the show as soon as possible. We're working on that. As far as I'm concerned, I think we should have them both on, and I think that that would be a great conversation. But as Sable brings up, and a lot of people bring up, this is one of the reasons why, when it comes to the British snoot that most people don't like, it's coming from somebody like Piers Morgan, who always acts as this holier than art. That what me? I never said anything so offensive.
Well, it's like that clip you sent me about that woman educating him on Caucasity, and he just cannot.
And then he proves Caucasity over the course of the entire conversation.
He can't help himself.
Yeah, no.
He just can't.
Why were you so
It's
hateful?
none of your business.
You said it publicly on TV.
All right, so
So
I
not
said it.
private, is it?
I was a bit upset. I'm watching a genocide. I wake up in tears every morning.
But people
Don't you understand? Don't you get it?
Yes, I
Okay, well,
I
you-
understand
well-
the strength of your feeling. I don't understand why you seem to have very little feeling for the people who've died on the other side.
Because
What
We
are
just
the-
don't anymore. Because we just don't anymore. And maybe in the beginning, some of us maybe pretended we did just a little bit so as to seem like somewhat, respectful. Now I just don't care anymore. You're right. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about the Israelis. I don't give a fuck what happens to them. I don't care how many of them die. I really don't. I don't care.
And they're going
So,
down.
I'm not
Like,
gonna
they are
pretend to care.
going down in a big way. That's the thing. What most people don't seem to fully understand, which is happening right now, is that this truly is the calm before the storm. We're not even there yet. You wait. You just wait.
And no, I don't condemn Hamas. I don't condemn Hamas, not even a little bit. Never did. Not even on October 7th, not on October 8th. Still not now. Don't condemn Hamas. Because if you lock me in a cage, I'm going to blow shit up. I'm going to blow shit up, and I'm going to come hunt you down, and I'm going to come kill you. That's what's going to happen. So why would I condemn people doing exactly what I would do if I were locked in a cage?
Because everybody wants to...
I can't. It's just absurd.
This is, again, the embodiment of standing on the pedestal that the Zionists always do, especially when they talk about their safety and their need to feel safe. This is, if you want to talk about true white privilege, that's where it is. It lies in this idea. Again, it's like...
That they need to always feel comfortable. That they're entitled to comfort.
It's the same thing when you hear somebody say, oh, he's such a well-spoken black person. It's like you don't understand how unbelievably stupid you sound. and how unbelievably ignorant and privileged you come off like. In that instance, that's what real privilege is, because they're thinking to themselves, well, we're the better class of people. We are not supposed to be subjected to hard labor and bombs being dropped on our...
Yeah, it's laughable if it was funny. It's like if I come to your house and start fights and shit, and then cry victim. If I come to your house and start punching people's heads in, and then someone comes around my house and sorts me out, didn't I bring that on myself? Because that's what happened. Okay, like we pissed them off, and we kept pissing them off, and kept pissing them off, and kept blowing them up, and kept taking their shit. It's not like we went there and ran a key up the side of their car. We blew up their fucking kids. We've been doing it for years. When did we first go into Iraq? Like, we've done nothing but destroy the Middle East. That's all we've been doing. Attached at the hip to the fucking United States of Degenerates, which is now the United States of Israel. Now we get dragged to be the 52nd state of the United States of Israel. People can't, you just... Because they only get their information from one source, or some dickhead, I was a soldier over there, alright, you see what's coming to you then. Well, I was just following orders. Do you know how fucking ridiculous that sounds? It didn't work for him at Nuremberg either. See my point? It's funny how people's grasp of history is like about that long, and then it's about that long, and then when it suits them, it's about that long again. Hello, sweetheart.
Hello.
Just put some clothes on. Your ass is hanging out.
Oh. I didn't know.
Tease you there.
Yeah.
Seems a bit lacking in flavour, but are you sunburnt?
Huh?
No? Thought your shoulders are sunburnt. My beautiful daughter. Come give me a hug. Love my foot.
Hell yeah.
It's my little lily foot. Big as way now, she did.
I know, Nelly, it's not,
What's Hitler cat doing?
it's not a cat. Well, it is in cat bite.
Yeah, it's ignorant. It's arrogant. It's
It's not a cat bite. That's not a cat bite.
It's not a bite, it's a scratch. He's like scratched himself. Leave him alone.
yeah. I do. I wander around real always. People find it intimidating. I don't know why. It's like they think I'm just being an ass. I've always been like it. And this is apparently according to the copper when he's been an arsehole to me in my front lawn. Because I'm getting agitated. If I was actually going to get rowdy, she'd have been fucking on. Right? She'd have been on like fucking big time. Showing off there. What are you doing? Don't point that thing at me either, it's too bright.
That is a fat mosquito.
Oh, mosquito! Is it one of them big red ones?
No.
Hey, he won't eat much, just tiny little bits at a time. He'll be alright.
Fat.
He's only a snack.
Gigantic.
He's only a snacker.
There's not much of the night.
Nice.
It's not, he's gigantic. He's not a tiny little snacker.
Knew it. I do say that when the spider's like, I'm like, where is it?
It's behind.
No, behind the light.
Ah.
Oh my god, Dad, he's actually ginormous, and I'm being so rude.
Oh, there he is.
Where?
He's behind it. Behind the thing where the light goes.
Ah, it's a nice little park in Adelaide, fucking under the bridge, and it's like, and they pick you up and carry you away like B-52s.
Yeah, I'm not dealing with it.
How's Miss Aitken?
Good.
That's good. Has Dad been alright though? That's good. It's pretty bad when you go to counsel other people's kids because their parents can't do it. Promised I wouldn't do it, but you know, you don't let people cry and send them away. No kids. Daniel, what are you shooting?
What?
Don't shoot the cat with that. Not cool. Yeah, welcome to a day in the life of my house.
That's another mosquito.
You reckon you can get it to your panda? Look at him, he's like, oh, you get up there and get that mosquito. He's like, they're one of them salt guns. Apparently you're not allowed to have them anymore, the fly shooters. It's fucking got ridiculous. No, we can't have toys like that, but, you know, our governments can justify blowing kids up. It's never ceases to amaze me, the hypocrisy and the lack of humanity and the how can you justify someone's righteous anger? Well, how can you justify not justifying somebody's righteous anger? Somebody's justified grudge that they might have because we blew his son's legs off or his daughter's face is deformed for life. You see where I'm getting at? It doesn't matter what side of the argument it's on. It's always governments that have the problem, but we suffer the consequences. Because governments are manipulated by the strings with fingers on them. By lobbyists who are controlled by other people with fingers with strings on them. For what? So they can remain on top of the boards of BlackRock and Exxon Oil and International Bank, the Bank of International Settlements, Unidroid. Our lives are worth nothing to these people. They're not even worth anything to your local members of council. They couldn't give a flying fuck about you. Maybe you need to get a bigger Nerf gun. Poor mosquito, what did he do to you? He said, you get big.
There's another fucking mosquito.
Shut the window then. Shut the window, Saul.
Not mosquitoes on.
Heads and wondering about whether the real indigenous people to West Asia are being affected in any way.
Soon heaven, again, while we do think you're sort of Dr. Shiva, but no, Jews can freely come and go from Ziohel. Palestinians have no passports. Palestinians can't go anywhere, and if the few that can leave, they have to cross over and go out of Jordan. They're not yet allowed to use the airport that's closest to them. But no, Jews are allowed to come and go. The Jews in Israel are not being held hostage. That's not a thing.
Oh, Travers, you will bury us all, my friend. You truly will. Bad hombre. All right,
Kind of though, but it's kind of true.
Mr. Waters has more to say.
Because there's a few hundred of them.
Especially music lovers.
Because
And a
they,
festival. You're a
excuse
musician.
me, because the state of Israel is, how to get it into your thick head? They're committing genocide.
Yes.
They're killing every single Palestinian. They're going to kill every Palestinian.
Well, they're not
in the
gonna
West
kill
Bank.
every Palestinian.
Their dream.
Are you sure about that, Pierce?
Oh my
You sure
God.
about that?
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
that's privilege right on its surface. Well, I understand they're going to kill a lot of them, but they're not going to kill them all. Oh, so what? 10, 15% of them will be left alive? Is that
You know what? And this brings us back to what we were talking about with Kiara. Her people were genocided, and yet they still exist. So this is this concept that's very hard for especially Zios to understand, and that includes someone I know personally who seems to think that it can't be a genocide if they're still here. Okay, but then how come Jewish people get to claim that there was a genocide and a Holocaust? We're still here.
Just because somebody produced a skull that turned out to not be Hitler's, that's been sitting in a Russian museum for years, turned out to be a woman's skull, not even his wife's skull. They think it might have been his maid's skull. And just because they claim that Germany lost the war, it doesn't mean that Nazism lost the war. So this is people's simplistic mindset. When countries go to war with one another, it's not about the country winning. Just like when local members of council have an argument, it's not about the councillors. People go, oh, Trent Aitken this and Giovanni Simpson that and Teeny Brumby this and whatever else that, and they fall in love with personalities. People fall in love with personalities and whatever the avatar character is that they're pretending to be. And they just want the person to win. They completely miss the point altogether on the policy, on the what they actually stand for, what they have shown that they stand for, not the words that are there to titillate and tantillate the eardrums and the nice actions and smiles that are there to hypnotise the eye, bubblegum for the eyes and junk food for the brain. It's never worked on me, it's never gonna. I'd actually like to see if I can be hypnotised, because I don't reckon I can. I don't reckon they can hypnotise me. I've never tried, but I don't think they'd be able to somehow. So I've never ever been one like, I've watched all my life, I watched people do things in groups and stuff like. Why? Just because they're doing it, all of a sudden you want to jump up and do it. Now you want to jump up and do it. It's like they're all remote control fucking idiots. I've never understood it. And then I've never had a problem with when I used to get up and have a dance or whatever at a club or whatever. I didn't need cokes and I didn't need somebody else to be out there doing it first. I like this song, I'm going to get up and have a bang. Have a head bang. Dance really badly in front of everybody. I don't care. I've never cared what other people think. Couldn't care less. Neither would you if you knew how seldom people even thought at all. They just usually mimic, copy, go with the crowd. See, what Piers Morgan isn't getting, because he's a communist, clearly, of some sort, with card carriers everywhere, Roger Waters from Pink Floyd. They fought against Nazism. His dad actually, was a soldier in World War II, as was my grandfather, a naval officer in World War II. My grandmother was a nurse. Imagine some of the things she saw. And they taught me things to make sure that I never fell into the hole that others did. They taught me honestly. They didn't indoctrinate me. They didn't tell me what to think. They taught me how to spot traps, how to not fall for the hypnotist lies. Remember, Granddad always used to say, "How do you know when the politician's lying?" His mouth's moving and there's something dribbling down his chin. Bullshit. They say that war starts where politics fails. No. Want to know how it comes about? When economics and goods stop crossing borders, soldiers take their place. When goods stop crossing borders, armies do. It's always about stuff. Some kind of stuff. It's never about people. It's never for the good of mankind. There's money to be made, but for the few, not for the many.
I don't, and the
Because
native
they
people.
believe in their ethnic, cultural, religious, and social superiority above all others, and because of the runaway, broken, Western-style capitalist system that we're living under, Piers Morgan, who fully knows the score, has his rich, aristocratic, Zionist, Jewish financiers, they have him by his balls, and he knows it.
He's
So it's
disgusting.
not-
Maybe he's so quickly, so I can't stare. I can't
Has to
look at it.
pretend. Has to pretend.
And their leaders have said that, is Eretz Israel. Every single bit of was once
They're
Palestine
not going to
becomes
kill every
Israel.
Palestinian,
Why?
obviously.
Oh, they're not?
No, they're not.
Well, they're trying to. Why
Well, they're
don't
trying
they
to kill
stop?
every member of Hamas.
Well, what?
I personally believe, as I know you do, that I think they have the response has been massively disproportionate. And
You
way
think?
too many
You think?
How does he?
Yeah, why I like Roger Waters is he's always gone against the norm. He's gone against the grain, in the sense that if it's for the good, he goes with it. If it's for the bad, he goes against it. He always remained true to himself like that. You've only got to listen to his music.
Look, I just don't understand how people still want to look at it from that perspective. Well, it was really unfortunate what happened on October 7th. but-
Yeah.
Don't do that, boy.
Yeah. What do you call an acceptable loss when it's civilians? What is that? What? How do you quantify an acceptable loss? 1, 2, 3 million? I say to people, put the shoes on the other foot. With Australia, but pretty much most of the West, Australia and America, we've never had rockets launched at us. We've never actually had war on our territory. We nearly did. We almost did. I believe there's a couple of submarines off the coast of Australia somewhere, Jap submarines. We torpedoed them. I mean, this is how sick it gets. Kamikaze submarines and kamikaze planes. You run out of bullets, fly the plane into it. Submarines made out of just enough room for one person. They give them wicked drugs and shit. So that they're brainwashed into taking the drug and they're off their dick by the time they get there. And it's like, well, there's no point turning back because they're going to die anyway. Like, drugs laced with cyanide. That's brainwashing. That's some serious shit.
It makes him sound better than he does. Just don't.
Proportionate. It's proportionate. It's not proportionate. I mean, the audacity to suggest proportionality is even something to be discussing is what's funny. It is.
Well, no, he still believes Israel has a right to defend itself. He's still going with that. They just were a little bit heavy-handed.
Just a tad. Just a tad.
Palestinian civilians have died, and because the population is half under 18, it is absolutely outrageous now that so many young people have been killed. But that doesn't change the fact that
They said-
354 Israeli civilians
They said-
and other nationalities were killed at a music
Where's my
festival.
camera?
And when Bono sings a song about them and pays a tribute to them,
Bono's on the World Health Organization, the World Economic Forum.
Raise your voice. You know what he's like. And I said, yeah, I do.
what am I like?
See, he's like that. All right, this is a complete false equivalence.
I'm not
The-
making a false equivalent.
He's interrupting again.
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to the camera. The
I
oppressor,
love this.
the state of Israel, is committing genocide on a whole people.
Thank you. I love that because I knew who he was talking to. He was talking to us. And Pierce doesn't get that because Pierce doesn't talk to us. He just talks, like to hear him, he just talks to talk. So he thinks that someone's actually talking to the people that they're sitting in front of. I think that's great.
What I've always loved about Roger is that he is, and this is what I would say to him if he was ever, kind enough to grace us on our channel, is that as much as it is detestable that Bono is conducting himself the way that he is, it's not a surprise.
He's just Bruce, but on another continent. And quite honestly,
You, again, reading my brain, I would tell him that the person who truly discourages me and disturbs me more than anybody is Springsteen. Because Bruce knows exactly what's going on.
so does Bono. Are you kidding me?
But I don't think Bono cares. I think Bono's a fraud.
You-
I think Bruce is a
want
coward.
me?
I think Bruce is too afraid to listen. What?
That's worse.
I agree. It probably is. It
No,
is worse
that's
because
worse.
he does look better. So
Yeah,
the
it
fact
is.
why?
It is because Bruce never lived. Bruce never lived through the Israel Republican Army, the IRA, the kneecappers. Bono did, but hey, Bono's on the World Economic Forum for crying out loud, in the Bilderberg Group.
because John Landau happens to be Jewish? Is that what the problem is, Bruce? Like, what the fuck is it? The idea that you would be stone silent for this, you have never said anything, and I mean anything, about the Palestinian people.
I
And
can't
would-
with him. All right, but Bono is at this point been disappointing for years. Like
Bono has, this, like I said,
and he gets to be Irish.
well, that's why I said in the rare instance where a Brit outflanks an Irishman on the issue of Israel-Palestine, you have to celebrate it.
I
But
could
of
be
course,
Irish. I could be Irish more than that.
If there is one thing I can absolutely say, as much as I love you too, Roger Waters, Bono cannot hold a candle to him in terms of his musical acumen, his songwriting, and his overall position in history in terms of a rock
Yeah,
and roll artist.
I'll go along
There's
with
no
that.
comparison.
No.
And
Ah,
Bono
Jen.
has always had a listen. Forget the fact that people think Bono is CIA or that he's involved with any of these other things. Let me tell you what would not shock me regarding Bono and the little that I know about him in terms of his extracurricular activities. If that man
someone with a deep appreciation of musical depth, soul, connection, someone who listens to the radio. I get where he's coming from. Well, I still have CDs and stuff. Oh, we was told a long time ago, years ago. It's all in subtitled. If you want to know how honeypotting and blackmail works with stolen sex slaves, watch those. Brutal.